Waka, what's up, and welcome back to the channel for yet another FC Finch review. And it is Eaglemoss Day on the channel today, which means we are going to be taking a look at the U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-B XL, the extra large version of this ship. And of course, there is the Enterprise B Force. It is an Excelsior class starship, as we all kind of knew it would be when the U.S.S. Excelsior was made. So of course, the Enterprise would eventually get that class of ship too. And this ship, of course, appeared in the movie Star Trek Generations, albeit a bit short-lived, but it does live on in a series of books and does unfortunately have an unfortunate end. Thank goodness it's not alpha canon. But either way, we're going to start off, and because the ship is an XL, that means we're going to take a look at the box first. So I'm going to move the ship back out of the way, and of course we have a nice product shot of the Enterprise B on there. USS Enterprise NCC-1701-B. Then we have some technical stuff on the side. We have StarTrek.com on the bottom. We have Star Trek on the side. This being an older XL, we only have the big four on there: Voyager, DS9, TNG, and Enterprise. And then of course Star Trek. And there we go for the box. And we're going to move right along because of course we review all these ships with the magazine. So let's take a look at the magazine real quick. This is the Enterprise NCC-1701-B special issue. It's an Excelsior class, launched in 2293, a length of 467 meters and 32 decks. And of course this magazine is probably going to cover a bit more on the movie and whatnot. We have the standard magazine for the standard ship, which I do have. Not sure if we're going to take a look at it, but we will. Actually, I'm going to take a look at it because I'm probably going to sell it after I take a look at it. Finding to try to consolidate some room. But either way, we'll take a look. Of course, we got our stand instructions. We got making Star Trek Generations, crashing the saucer, and stellar cartography. So yeah, this is going to go into a bit more on Generations. Then we have a nice frontal orthographic view of the U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701. You can already see a lot of the differences. This kind of pontoon-ish boat front on the bottom of the saucer being one of them. And this, of course, Star Trek Generations. It's an Excelsior class designed by Bill George, John Eves, and Herman Zimmerman. Captain was John Harriman. Very short. Actually, I'm told in the books he gets better. And then, of course, they have our nice movie shots over there. Got some nice shots of Dr. Soren summoning the Nexus, and of course Captain Kirk and Captain Picard. And I do believe, fun fact, I do believe the scene in the horse stable was actually Patrick. Excuse me. Oh darn! The guy who Shatner. It was Shatner's actual stable. So pretty neat fun fact. I don't know if that's entirely true or not, but feel free to correct me in the comments. Almost forgot William Shatner's name. How dare I? Of course, we have more movie shots. There we have the Enterprise B in space dock. Sorry for screen glare, but nevertheless. And then, of course, we have Whoopi Goldberg, Dr. Soren, the Lursa and B'Etor, the Duras sisters. Then, of course, we have that dramatic fight scene between the Enterprise and the Klingon bird of prey. There we have, of course, Patrick Stewart dying. And you know what? I'm going to say it. I actually thought this was a good death scene. I know a lot of people argue about this. I actually thought this was a very good death scene. And if you, whether you agree or disagree with me, I recommend watching Rowan J. Coleman's retrospective on the film, and he talks about why this is a very well done death scene. And put something. Bottom line, it's Kirk coming to the realization that this really is the end. So just FYI, fun fact for you, for a little, not really a fun fact, a fun opinion for you. And there we have a few more movie shots. There we have the Enterprise crash landing, and gonna go on, and then of course we have doing the filming. Look at that. Wow, this is really more about the Enterprise B than the Enterprise D, to be honest. Then of course we have the stellar cartography, which was made specifically for the movie, and then of course looks like a early sketch of what stellar cartography would look like. And yeah, no, pretty cool, pretty neat. Again, really cool stuff when you have the budget of the movie. And then of course a nice upper orthographic view of the USS Enterprise NCC-1701-B. And even though it's all the same, we're going to go over our stand instructions. So, of course, you have the square hole, you have the square peg, and you're just going to peg them both together. And you notice you have this little etching right in the center here. And, of course, the back that's going to fit around the impulse engines. And the little bottom piece right here is going to go right onto the pontoon, and you're going to have the little ears that are going to fit around. So what you're going to do is you kind of want to bring it up through the nacelles, and it's just going to fit right in there nice and firmly, so it's kind of holding it at 2 points. And there you go, and that looks really good. I've never had issues with this stand. It does have kind of a little elevated stand, so it's going into outer space. And with that, let's take a good look at the ship. We'll move the stand out of the way. Again, really good stand because it holds on 2 points instead of 1. And let me bring up the camera just a tad. And yeah, this is really good. So it's hard to see, but you got some transparent plastic for the deflector. I want to point that out. And it's actually painted right under there, so you can see it real good. You can see that transparent plastic got like a little light blue hue just outside the deflector. It looks really, really good. And then you have, of course, the blue around. Again, to me, an Excelsior model, they really kind of just throw it out. You got the nice blue around the bottom of the saucer. Tons of nice Aztecing detail. You see the nice little subtle notes of gray in their NCC-1701-B. And I love how this bottom computer core array, the sensor array, has all these details. Look at that. All right, this is like one of the most detailed sensor core arrays out there. Again, you got some nice little light blue edges right here. You got the phaser banks all around the saucer. They're done in a nice gold. And then of course you get your RCS thrusters on the side. They look to be, yeah, they are done in a gold as well. Coming onto the side, you got the little you got your little torpedo tube etchings, which is pretty cool. Then, of course, you do have some nice details in here. I always forget what these banks are. I'm not sure if they're phaser banks. I know the magazine probably tells us. And then, of course, you have on the side U.S.S. Enterprise, United Federation of Planets, and that's always cool how they have that. Moving on to the upper side of the saucer, you can see where the initial changes, they added 2 more impulse engines on the top side. And that just looks so badass. I love it. U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-B, nice red outlines all around, still more gold for the phaser banks. And you got this area painted up in a nice gray and tons of nice blue paneling up here. Really void of details, but again, it's got the paint where it counts. The paint looks really good. You got the 2 little cores right back here looking really good. They're done in black. They got some gray detailing here. They had more nice little Aztecing notes all across the saucer. And then if we go to the back of the ship, we can see that all the impulse engines, no transparent plastic, but they are painted in a nice red. And while we're back here, we can just kind of take a look. And no misalignment issues. These XLs, I always had good luck with those. We can see from the side, no misalignment issues. That looks really good. And the nacelles are loaded with transparent plastic. Got transparent plastic on the Bassard collectors. They got kind of like that visor look with the mohawk up there for the fin. I love that. You got transparent plastic on the top. Nothing on the side for the warp coils, but that's okay. And then on the back, you of course have United Federation of Planets NCC-1701-B, and that looks like you got the fins back here, and then you have your little shuttle bay doors done in a nice gray with some paneling, and all along the back you got the 2 large panels done in a nice beige with the Aztecing detail, and of course you have the nacelle holster, a little bit of molded detail right here on the nacelles where the gray area sits. Looks pretty good. Everything pretty sturdy, and you can tell there's a good weight at the bow of the ship, so a lot of die cast up in here abouts. Looking on the bottom of the ship, again, super clean. Got the Enterprise right on back there, screen accurate, and then you got a whole bunch of molded detail on here, which is great because you'll never see this part of the ship at the stand. You have to take it off the stand to look at it. And again, just tons of nice little blues down here. It's good that they spared no they spared no expense in the extra detail, and they got the blue outlined with the red, so really very good. And then of course you got more design on the bottom of the cell palette, so that looks really, really good. And for a couple quick comparisons, we'll get it out of its stand and let's get it next to its predecessor right here, the U.S.S. Excelsior. So you could kind of see them both side by side, just kind of see what they've changed with both the models and see how good they look. And again, both really good size for the model. You can see the nacelles just looks like a little bit longer on the Enterprise B model. And then, hold on, they're both a bit awkward to carry. And then, of course, you can see on the, they got the little boat hull attached to the bottom of the star drive section on the Enterprise B. So you can see how that looks like. Get a look from the side here, so you could take a look at that. And there you go for that. And then just so we could get a comparison of just how much this ship is upsized, we'll bring in a standard, the standard Enterprise refit model. You can see just how much it's upsized. Again, the standard Enterprise B is in storage, but you can kind of get a good look here. And yeah, like most standard models, they fit almost inside the saucer of the ship. This ship just only be because it has a smaller saucer, but nevertheless, there you go for that. So again, really cool. So let's summarize. And there we have it for the Eaglemoss official Starships collection, Hero Collector U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-B XL. And bottom line, this is a ship that just genuinely benefited from the XL treatment. Now, I don't remember the differences offhand between it and the standard model, but when I say that, I mean that this ship is just, the standard model is really small for what this ship kind of depicts, and I feel that the XL really gives you a better sense of the size of the ship, gives you a chance to appreciate all the details, because this is a long ship. It's over 400 meters. It takes a lot to kind of get in there and get all that nitty-gritty detail, and I think this really gives you the better look at that detail. It's a really good model. It feels nice and sturdy, has a nice hefty weight, tons of painted details, tons of transparent plastic. It looks really good. It feels premium. And definitely, if you're collecting Enterprises, or if you just like the Excelsior class, whatever, this belongs in your collection. Definitely highly recommend. Now, you can check out masterreplicas.com. They have been doing this ship in drops. I'll put a link in the description down below. Be sure to get on their newsletter so they can send you a list of all the drops they're having. It does sell out pretty quickly, so definitely, if you do get on that mailing, so you do want to get in the game and see if you can't grab one of these. You don't want to overpay on eBay. Also, check out realmerch.com in case they get any other stock in this ship. Give them a check out. Got some good resources for finding these Eaglemoss ships, which is really great. Super happy these companies are doing this. And that being said, that is going to conclude this review. So if you found this review fun and enjoyable, consider hitting the like button down below. That helps me out and definitely makes me feel better. It's like a virtual hug, and I love virtual hugs. Also, consider subscribing to my channel if you are not subscribed already. I do Eaglemoss reviews anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week. Gonna get more as the winter months come on, because it's cold outside, baby, and I gotta get warm and stay inside. So that being said, that is gonna conclude this review. I have been FC Finch. Thank you so much for watching. Live long and prosper.